U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officials welcomed media to its newly remodeled immigrant detention center near Karnes City on July 31st. The tour showed how ICE is going to even greater lengths to make the facility feel more like a hotel or resort and less like a prison. Even the name of the facility was changed recently from the Karnes County Civil Detention Center to the Karnes County Residential Center, as a way to shift the focus away from the fact that illegal immigrants are being detained. Despite the new name and new terminology, it remains a detention center, and detainees do not have the freedom to leave until they are deported to their home countries, transferred to another facility, or released through asylum granted by an immigration judge. The tour began showing the Sally Port, where immigrants will step off of buses inside an enclosed area and enter the detention center.
Welcome again to Karnes County Residential Center. Where you're actually standing right here is the Sally Port, where residents to this facility will arrive. This is where the buses will depart. You can see by the signs in English and Spanish they're welcoming, and the first part of intake is right behind these doors. Okay, this is the intake center. The first thing that happens, and I will refer to everyone in this facility as a resident, ICE generally refers to people in custody as detainees. This is a whole different facility. This facility is built with ICE civil detention standards in mind, and that's why since inception of this facility opening, they refer to as residents. Traditionally, you were as a staff being called guards. Here they're called resident advisors. So the first process of coming in through the Sally Port is this intake area. As soon as adults with children will be coming in through these doors, they will be screened by medical personnel. They will be asking them basic questions to see if there's any illnesses, any communicable diseases. They will be asked to go into the waiting room before they go into the next part of the process. So in the waiting room, which is right behind me, you're welcome to take your cameras there and shoot around. There will be a Know Your Rights presentation taking place, so that residents know their rights as far as immigration rights, their bond rights, their asylum rights. Those will be playing in both English and Spanish language. There will also be cartoons playing for the children and games of that nature. Once the adults and children arrive, there is access to food and snacks immediately, and I will explain as we go around where the various locations are. So after the shower is taken place, they will be issued one set of clothing, both for the child and for the adult. Immediately after being showered and dressed, they are going to the next part of intake, which is issuing an additional 5 sets of clothing. I'm going to take you to that room where the residents, the adults, actually get to pick out their own clothing for themselves as well as for the child.
Medical exam rooms are used in the next step of the process when detainees arrive.
They'll be issued their 6 sets of clothing. So behind me are these exam rooms that will be staffed with medical professionals 24 hours a day.
Each detainee is issued 6 sets of clothing. Detainees are x-rayed as part of a screening process aimed at detecting cases of tuberculosis. Negative pressure isolation rooms are available to isolate suspected cases of tuberculosis.
This is just a regular medical room that if you have to stay overnight, this is where you can stay.
Medical and dental professionals are on site or on call 24 hours per day.
Every minor coming into this facility will have a full physical exam within 24 hours of intake. For the adults will be have that full physical exam within 7 days. Now that differs from general adult population standards. Generally, that full physical exam happens 14 days within an intake. So there's much more time sensitive for the population that will be in this facility.
Detainees have freedom of movement within the facility from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
The room behind me is where we have a video teleconferencing set up. These are generally where asylum officers conduct interviews with the residents, or counselor officials conduct interviews with the residents. Now, while residents are being interviewed by either an asylum officer or a counselor official, their children will not be with them. Their children will be provided child care by one of the resident advisors.
A library is available for detainees to use that is open 7 days per week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Access to immigration law information is available on internet-connected computers in the library.
Again, children can check out books here as well as the adults.
Signs in the courtyard show plans to build new playground equipment to be used by children detainees.
The room to the side of me is a classroom. Classrooms are provided from year-round schooling. A local San Antonio charter school has actually been contracted out. They are licensed to teach in the state of Texas. Again, school is year-round. It is in age clusters. So when I say age clusters, 5 to 7-year-olds would be going to class together in a year-round type schedule. There is a principal that will be on site when there is school here, and it will follow the traditional year-round schedule. So while residents are here, adults with children are here, they will be provided education. When they go to eat, it'll just be like a class setting. They will travel as a class to go to the dining hall to eat. Residents, the adults, are free to exercise, to be in the resident area, to go to the library, while the children are in class.
Bilingual teachers, I would imagine?
Yes, they are bilingual teachers. Yes,
and the instruction will be bilingual as well?
The curriculum follows the state of Texas standards.
Recreation is available, including ping pong tables, soccer field, basketball courts, fully equipped gymnasium, and group movement classes. Painting classes and other activities are planned for adults and their children while they are detained at the facility. The $32 million facility, sitting on 29 acres, opened in 2012 for the detention of immigrant adult males. It will no longer house adult males, but instead house single-parent families in which the mother is the sole parent. Space is available for 532 detainees. County leaders welcomed the facility in 2012 mainly due to 140 new jobs created as a result of the facility with an annual payroll of $5 million. Day rooms are open to detainees where they can watch TV, play video games, and make phone calls and enjoy snacks that are available 24 hours per day.
All right in front of me is a suite that can accommodate up to 8 individuals. So what's in this suite is basically 4 bunk beds. Only someone over the age of 12 will be on the top bunk. So depending on how a family is made up, there may be only 1 family in a suite, there may be 2 families on the suite. It's really going to depend on the family, how many children, the makeup of those children, the gender of those children. In each suite, there is a toilet and there is a shower. So again, to accommodate 8 people, the doors do not lock either on the outside or in the restroom. There's also a television. There's also a phone. On the wall, there is the number to every consular official that's in here in the United States. That call is free if they want to talk to any type of consular officials. Every resident adult is issued a phone card when they come into this facility. That card has 3 minutes of airtime. Everyone is allotted 3 minutes to make a call anywhere they would like. After that card can be reloaded either by the resident, by family, by friends. People can bring credit cards, cash to the facility, or they can upload it on the web. All right, where we are at is the dining hall area of the facility. This can accommodate approximately 150 people. It's open for 2 hours at a time, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, but 3 meals are served here. During that 2-hour period, residents can come in at any time. Again, if children are in classroom settings, they will come and eat as a class. The food here is approved by a registered dietitian to make sure both adults and children are getting the nutritional supplements that they need within the food. The food is not just a one-time serving, it is all you can eat. So if you want seconds, you can go back up for seconds. There is at the lunch and dinner servings, a salad bar. That salad bar will always have rice and beans. Again, all you can eat. There's also a fountain drink machine that in the morning has juices, has coffee. In the afternoon, could have juices, maybe sodas, also as much as you can drink.
Detainees can earn $3 per day by volunteering to work in the cafeteria, dining hall, or other areas. Only adults can volunteer to work for pay.
All right behind me is the commissary that's open 7 days a week. These are items that are available for purchase. Things in the commissary you can look through the window and see, but generally there are types of candy, other types of snacks. There's a box behind me that says resident suggestion box. Residents here can request that certain items are provided. How they purchase these cards are by their identification card. Again, just like the phone system, that ID card can also, money can be loaded onto these cards via the internet or through an individual coming here, giving cash, a credit card to actually put onto the identification card. Or by working here, in the volunteer work program, making that $3 a day, that's how money is loaded on these cards to allow them to be able to buy items out of the commissary. So you're free.
A family salon for haircuts is next to the commissary.
Okay, we are standing in the visitation area. This area is open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. If special accommodations are needed, if someone wants to visit earlier or later, they can call ahead and arrangements will be made if the staff is available, which generally they are. So this is contact visitation. There is no separating any type of family member or friend, whoever's coming to visit. They can sit at the tables. They can have their children provided child care by a resident advisor.
Courtroom set up.
All right, this is the immigration courtroom. There is no judge actually on site here, but if one were permanently assigned to Karnes County Residential Center or came on temporary, this would be their courtroom, as well as the room that we were going into. We cleared it so we could have the question and answer session there, but it also serves as another courtroom, as well as other rooms where there's video teleconference rooms set up in this hallway. That's generally how residents will go to court, doing video teleconferencing to the immigration court in San Antonio. However, if those are not available, we will transport the residents to the San Antonio Immigration Court. So this is one of the courtrooms that are available. Just wanted to show you that it is here on site, but generally the process is done through video teleconferencing.
ICE San Antonio Field Officer Enrique Lucero made a statement and responded to questions during a press conference after the tour.
The Karnes County Residential Center is the first facility constructed with ICE new civil detention reforms in mind. It allows ICE detainees the freedom of movement, recreational opportunities, consul visitation, while maintaining a safe and secure environment for both the residents and the staff. I'm pretty sure you will agree this is nothing like you've seen before. We pride ourselves in this location. We think it is absolutely appropriate for adults with children. Earlier, this month, ICE modified a contract with Karnes County to provide basically this facility to be able to accommodate adults with children. This facility used to accommodate males only. Now it will be females with children only at this time, up to 532 total residents at this location. The majority of the people that will be accommodated here will be coming from the Rio Grande Valley area that are apprehended most likely by the U.S. Border Patrol. The use of these facilities is sending one very important message to families in Central America considering crossing into the United States. Do not risk the lives of your children. Do not risk your life. This is a very dangerous journey coming into the U.S. Unfortunately, there have been deaths coming through the Rio Grande Valley area by both adults and children as recent in the last few months. Putting your lives in the hands of criminal smugglers who care not for human life is very dangerous. The U.S. border is not open to illegal immigration, and after your immediate detention and due process, there's every likelihood you will be returned to your home country.
Enrique, John Salazar with Time Warner Cable News. You say that these children will be deported out. However, statistics show that if these kids, they get an attorney, they go through the process, they're able to show that there is conflict back home, they stay, and the numbers prove overwhelmingly that it's in contrast to what you're saying, that these kids are going back home.
Right now, this is not just about unencumbered children. This facility is for families with children. So there is an adult, obviously a parent or a legal guardian that accompany these children. They were afforded every due process here while they're in our facility. So if they seek asylum, they will be interviewed by an asylum officer. They will have the right to see an immigration judge, and ultimately an immigration judge makes the decision if asylum is granted. So that due process will happen. And if the immigration judge at the end of the day decides to remove that individual, then ICE will execute that removal.
When asked what was the average length of stay for detainees, Lucero said that information is unknown at this time and every case is unique. The average length of stay for detainees in the San Antonio area ICE system is 23 days, he said. One reporter questioned the wisdom of making detention centers like resorts and what kind of message that may send to those considering to cross the border illegally.
We've also traveled personally to Central America to talk to the illegal immigrants who are potentially going to be coming this way. And they see things like this, the accommodations, the fact that they're releasing women and children at the bus stations, these things that were reported. So our viewers are going to look at this today and wonder, why is the federal government accommodating people who are crossing in illegally with activities like basketball and ping pong and flat screen TVs in their rooms? And how does the federal government expect folks back in Central America to see these images through national news and think that it's dangerous to cross?
While residents are here at the Karnes County Residential Facility, we will provide a safe and humane environment. We realize that children can be of infancy up to 7 years old. We are in the state of Texas, where it requires Texas children that are in a detention facility to go to school, to be provided these activities. So while they're doing their due process in going through the immigration proceedings, we will provide that safe environment for them.
Another reporter asked what lessons have been learned in the aftermath of criticism of the Don Hutto Detention Center in Taylor, Texas, a facility considered too prison-like by immigrant advocates.
The Karnes County Residential Facility Center is like nothing anyone of you have seen, because it's the first in mine, and I've had personal interest in making sure that this facility meets all the legal requirements that are under any settlement, any other family detention center. And I'm completely confident that we are meeting these standards and even exceeding those standards.
To be clear, you don't want to use words like prison, but this is a secure facility. People cannot leave this, right?
That's correct.
So who will make the decision when they leave? Will it be ICE? Will it be a court? Who will sign them out?
All right, each case is unique. Of course, they are not free to leave. If they become eligible for a bond at some point, they may be able to post a bond. If they are granted asylum, obviously they will be released. If they are ordered to remove, ICE will effect that removal. Each case is unique, but ICE is in the custody of these individuals.
And judges will make that decision, right?
Judges at the end of the day will make the decision if it goes to that process, but I could stand up here for a long time talking about every type of process that we have.
When asked about the cost of running the facility, Lucero said it is expected to be $140 per day per detainee. That adds up to $74,480 per day, or $27 million per year to operate the facility at full capacity.